Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Justine, and it is my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar, which is a follow-up to our first session on financial management, where few students attended this first class. And upon completion of each section of our course outline, I had promised that I will be giving a 15-minute webinar to summarize the lecture and also to give you an overview of what we will have covered during the class session. And this webinar will give an introductory view following on what we discussed in class with the student who attended our first session. And this module is centered on financial management, and we will have 14 sessions to discuss the various concepts of this particular module. And we will have assignments and an examination to cover the requirements of this particular session in that respect. And perhaps to start with, we need an understanding of what this course is all about. And financial management as a course is designed to make students understand the basic concepts of finance. And this module is actually to third-year students. And hence, we are going to unpack the different concepts of financial management to enhance our decision-making capability with regards to the financial resources that we will be having at hand, and to provide rudimentary training in the skills and methods of financial management, all centered on helping us to make effective decisions with regards to the financial resources of an organization. And we also need to develop an understanding of the value of finance within the area of organizational effectiveness, and how organizations can leverage on financial skills to ensure the continued success of an organization in that respect. So we need to be able to integrate the theory and practice of finance in our endeavors and as we study this particular module. And in this module, we are going to cover different subjects, which include the fundamentals of financial management, where we will look at the roles of a finance manager and the strategy and tactics that are useful in financial management, and also the distinction between financial and managerial accounting and the information that we get from financial management in general. We'll also look at financial reporting, which is an issue that came in our discussions in the previous session, the importance of financial reporting, and also financial analysis and performance monitoring. We also talk about financial planning, forecasting, and costing, and financial markets and institutions, which is also central to organizational effectiveness. We will cover as well issues of risk and rates of return, financial mathematics fundamentals, financial asset management, stocks and their valuation, the cost of capital, and the basics of capital budgeting and working capital management. So this is, in a nutshell, is the overview of this course on financial management, which is specifically centered on making financial decisions. So as we start, we need to ask ourselves this question: what do I understand and what do I want to learn about financial management? And this reflection is important in opening you as a learner to get a deeper understanding of an audit rather of the skills that you have with regards to financial management and the skills that you need to develop in terms of financial management. And we need to have a broader understanding of what financial management is all about. And from our discussion with the learners that attended our first session, we agreed that financial management generally involves the application of general management principles to the financial management or financial operations of a business. So we have the management principles, the general management principles, which we cover through the functions of management. And then we are relating these management principles to the financial operations of an organization. And what are these management principles? These include planning, organizing, directing, coordinating, and controlling. And the key principles in that respect include the issue of financial planning and financial control. And our discussion indicated the significance of these functions in finance. And then we need to understand, how do we do planning? How do we do financial control? And what is the significance of coordination and organizing in financial terms? And the definition here indicates that financial management is concerned with the management decisions that result in the acquisition and financing of the long-term and short-term activities of a firm. And what are these management decisions? We discussed in our session that management decisions include investment decisions, financing decisions, and dividend decisions. And under financing decisions, we also have an important element of working capital management. And these are the issues that we will unpack in detail. And we have a number of definitions that we covered, and all these speak into investing, financing, and dividend decisions. So as managers, or as a financial manager, you have a responsibility to make these decisions. And these decisions require us to be judicious in terms of making these particular decisions. We have to be thoughtful. We have to give critical thought when making these decisions in order to ensure the effectiveness of our decisions and achieving the goals of an organization in that respect. So we need to be able to define financial management in broader perspective and looking at its importance, its role in terms of driving organizational effectiveness in that respect. I will quickly go into look at the scope of financial management, which we will briefly discuss in our next session. And the scope of financial management is broad, and according to Dr. Saxena, the scope can be summarized in terms of 5 A's. And financial management involves anticipation, and which is the issue of budgeting and forecasting. And this is in terms of financing decisions, where we need to find out how much finance is required by the company. So when you are describing or defining financial management, the issue of anticipation should come into play. We also have the issue of acquisition, and I'm going to briefly highlight on the traditional and contemporary financial management principles. How we get funds, how we raise financing, what are the different sources of financing that an organization has. And then the issue of allocation of finance, either to purchase fixed assets or to purchase current assets. And also the issue of investment decisions comes under the issue of allocation of finance. Then appropriation, where we are dividing the company's profits among the shareholders. And this is the issue of dividend decisions, which we will cover in detail. And at certain instances, we have to keep money within the business as retained earnings and to continue business operations and ensure growth of the business in that respect. And financial management also involves assessment, where we are talking about controlling of all the financial activities of a company. So this is the scope of financial management. And we need to be able to elaborate on these 5 A's, which is anticipation, acquisition, allocation, appropriation, and assessment. And these we can summarize them into the 3 key financing decisions, or financial management decisions rather, in terms of investment, financing, and dividend, and taking into consideration the working capital decisions in that respect. And financial management, from our discussion yesterday, we indicated that we can divide it into the traditional approach and the modern approach. And the traditional approach looks specifically at the procurement of funds, how the organization can finance its operation, what are the different sources of finance that are there. And this is in terms of the business environment then, the traditional business environment, which is different from the contemporary or the modern business environment, which we discussed yesterday as being a VUCA environment. VUCA being a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment. And in this contemporary approach, we need a lot of analysis, analytical ways of looking into the financial problems of a firm. And we discussed the concept of appreciative inquiry into the financial problems of a firm, having to answer a number of questions when we are dealing with finance in an organization. And we need to be able to elaborate as learners on these different financial problems and the application of appreciative inquiry into the contemporary financial management with regards to the complex business environment that we are operating in the modern business today. And also we need to be able to summarize the objectives of financial management, which I will just highlight quickly in terms of profit maximization. Businesses exist to make a profit, which profit we will be able to make dividend decisions. When an organization makes a profit, then it can make investments. If a business is not making sustainable or enough profits, then there is need to make financing decisions. Financial management also involves wealth maximization decisions, which involves maximizing the entire wealth of the organization. And this enables an organization to be sustainable and continue in existence over a long period of time. So you need to be able to explain these objectives of financial management in that respect. And also the different functions of financial management. And these include financial forecasting. And we can relate that to anticipation from the 5 A's of Dr. Saxena. And also estimation and controlling of cash flows. This is still under the anticipation scope of financial management. And it also involves determination of financial objectives. What are the financial policies and operational procedures of an organization? Financial management has a function of designing the capital structure of an organization. Should we have more debt or more capital or more equity in our financial structure? It also involves determination of proper sources of finance, investing decisions, working capital management, and disposal of profit or dividend decisions in that respect. So in a nutshell, this is what we covered yesterday with respect to financial management, and also looking at the roles of the financial manager or the finance manager in an organization. And this gives us a broader understanding of where we are taking this course to as we move into the other sections of this particular module. So I request all learners to go through what we have covered in our first session and then be able to narrate the key concepts in financial management at introductory level as we move into future discussions. Let's enter into conversations about this module for the benefit of all learners in that respect. I thank you so much.